Welcome to the MVP.
The Man's You podcast.
Man, you ain't do the thing from last week? Wasn't gonna get the
singing? No fear, book it. I'm good though, baby. You know what I'm saying? Every week I might change it up. You know what I'm saying? New script.
I see you, man. Yo, it was so trash last week. I had to go in there and isolate your sound and turn it all the way up to the max because it was so awful. Even the computer rejected the sound that came out of that. They didn't like that one. So I'm glad you went with what we do normally on this week. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that.
Oh, you talking about C? This is
C.
Yeah, okay.
Just because you called me a hater last week, I'm starting with the hate early.
I'm gonna deal with you out. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna deal with you out.
No problem. Let's not be rude to our guests, man. We have a special guest.
Part of me.
We have a special guest in the building. To us, he needs no introduction, but to y'all gonna learn something today. You know what I'm talking about? The boy, the honorable Tyrone, TJ Boyd. What's going on, man?
I appreciate y'all having me, man. I enjoy watching y'all podcast. We family though, man. So this ain't even, this ain't nothing new. We've been talking trash to each other for 20 years now.
Mm-hmm. You ain't lying. Yo, I didn't know. I said your first name. I don't know how you felt because we had an interview with CD, and CD don't want to be called CD no more. He want Clarence. You know what I'm talking about? So I want to You a principal now. You in the school system, so I want to make sure I don't know what the.
I'm still TJ, man. I'm TJ forever. You know what I'm saying? That's who I am. I feel like they call me Tyrone. Actually, they call me Void more than anything. They don't even worry about I think there may be 3 people in the entire planet who calls me Tyrone. Most people either call me TJ, or just Void or Coach at this point.
Yeah.
So
man. But yeah, like I said,
I ain't changed that much.
Like I told CD, I don't want to be disrespectful to you. You know what I'm talking about? I want to make sure.
I got you.
If you didn't evolve that much, you want to be called Tyrone. I'm gonna call you Tyrone. You heard?
I haven't. Don't even worry about
it. Man, we here.
Yeah, don't even worry about it.
We here, man, because I heard. We knew my boy TJ, man. We played on the same basketball team together. Not the same year. I was JV. They was varsity. Him and Book together was varsity. You know what I'm saying? The boys was getting it in. We've been around each other a lot, been on them buses, them long trips and stuff like that. And I saw an interview on Better Than Your Average. Shout out to the boy Jay and Schemes.
Hey, yeah.
Shout out to them. If I can, I'm going to try to put their little card up there. Go check them out. You know what I'm talking about? We support all the podcasts, especially in our area. But they talked to TJ, and it was a whole lot of shit I was unaware of. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But when I listened to it, a lot of stuff clicked in my mind and a lot of shit made sense. You know what I'm saying? So it was almost weird. I was like, damn, I wish I would have knew some of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Some of your struggle and some of the things you went through. Mm-hmm. I honestly just want, right now while we here, man, I just want you to tell some people, man, about your story, man, about you growing up and the difficulties you went through, man. Honestly, they gotta hear it. You can go to, like I said, you can go to Better Than Your Average, hear it, or I just want you to give them an overview, at least an overview of some of the stuff you went through. I know it's long, but
I'll keep it brief though, man. Honestly, like, we knew each other even before Book. We knew each other from church and stuff way back when. And I guess one thing I did early in life, man, was I just learned how to just not even really think about it. I just did whatever needed to be done. I just did it. I just thought in my mind that this sucks and this will not be my life forever. I swear to God. So, we when we first moved to Texas, man, we moved to Texas when I was younger, from South Carolina. But then we ended up going to Germany, and then we came back in around 89, 90, at the end of 89, actually going into 90. And we just stuck ever since. And everything was cool at the beginning, dog. And then life happens. Growing up, I moved every year. I moved every year of my life from the time I was in 2nd grade all the way until my 11th grade year. That was the only year I stayed in the same house twice. So we went through, evictions. We went through days that we had $5 for lunch for the week. We went through I started high school with 4 outfits, and 2 of the jeans belonged to my dad. And, I'm 14 and my dad was size 42, you know what I'm saying? So, it's just, I didn't feel, I was a little bit embarrassed as a kid. So I didn't really share with anybody, because everything I've always had basketball. Right. And so like people would see me with the Jordans in 9th grade to play, and they thought that, TJ must have money, but really that $160 set us back like 6 months, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? But the one thing that always kept me sane was I always figured that if I ever, because I like played the middle, right? I had you guys and Travis and Jarrell, and that was like one side of life. And y'all was my boys. We hooped together, we went to church together, played video games, all that fun stuff. Then I had the other side, you know what I'm saying, of the people who I ain't gonna name, but they my boys too. You know what I'm saying? They lived a different lifestyle. I was really neither. You know what I'm saying? I was like dead center. But the only thing that kept me from getting in trouble was that I couldn't imagine my mom and all the stuff she had to go through, also having to bail me out of jail on some dumb stuff. You know what I'm saying? And if anything stopped me from playing basketball, I was not interested. You know what I'm saying? Basketball was my life, bro. Like this was going to be my meal ticket. So I took it very, very seriously. Like I took it probably too seriously. Like some y'all probably should look at me sometime like, this boy tripping, man. What? You know what I'm saying? Like, why is he crying after losses? You know what I'm saying?
Man,
but
I wasn't gonna bring it up.
It's cool, man. It's part of life.
I remember
bro.
Y'all had one game, man. Y'all played some big white boy. He was dunking all on y'all.
Temple.
Man.
Temple was tough though. Woo. He was like, come on, man. But I felt bad.
I felt we would always feel good because we had a good JV squad. So we would win our games, and then we would come and watch y'all, and then we'd be like, okay, man. Ooh, that boy.
There was no answer for him though.
It wasn't. But I remember at the end of the game,
man. Like we literally were the Rockets last year going against the Lakers in the playoff last year. Like, but we had no size. Our biggest person was, bless your heart, Scott. But the boy was like Nikola Jokic with the vertical. You know what I'm talking about? Didn't have the same game.
And minus the skill set.
He didn't have that. He wasn't polished. Not at all. He was just big. But what are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do?
So, and we had a coach. Coach Ward is my guy. I love him to death. He's the only man that cursed me out, and I don't say nothing to him. But he didn't let us shoot threes like that. You know what I'm saying? We weren't just out there slinging it and running and gunning and all of that kind of stuff. But that game, we were supposed to win that game both times. You know what I'm saying? But we didn't. And I'm like, once we didn't win them two, it's like, dang, man. How we gonna bounce back to this?
You put a combo. I just said that because you put a combo on that soda machine in the hallway, boy. That boy TJ was tearing that soda machine up in that hallway. I was like, God, dog.
I didn't play well. That first game, man. I let my team down. I missed a free throw, And so, but I tell you what, the second time we played, I said, I tell you what, this ain't gonna happen again. Mm-hmm. I believe I had like 24, something stupid like that. I don't know, man, but. So it's just, but that's kind of how it was growing up, man. Just living, just struggling. There ain't no really other way to put it. You know what I'm saying? Struggling. My mom lost her job in the 9th grade, and so we had to figure it out. And she worked at West. I remember West telemarketing. She worked there for a couple of weeks, and we had to go pick her up. And sometimes me and Jaren, shout out to my boy Jaren, and we'd be in the Fiesta, bro, like. Piled up, going to pick my mom up. You know what I'm saying? And so then she started braiding hair in the house, and that kind of sustained us all the way through from freshman year, dog, all the way through the end of the year. She never really had another job. She just did that from 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. at times, but she was at my games, and people thought it was good because they would see my dad early, 9th grade, 10th grade, 8th grade, 7th grade, but things ain't always what they appear, bro.
You always look clean to me, man. And plus, I don't know. My wife recently told me I don't pay attention to people too often. So I'm trying to fix that up a little bit, but I don't ever remember me saying, yo, TJ look janky or raggedy.
Never. So here's what I did, right? So I was really super particular about my stuff because I didn't have a lot. So when I came home from school, I took my shoes off, I cleaned them with a toothbrush, put them up. You know what I'm saying? I learned how to wash clothes at 11 because my mom wouldn't take care of my stuff like I did. She just throwing stuff around and putting stuff in the dryer. And I'm like, hold on, baby, I can't. Like I did. This is my black. You know what I'm saying? It's my black shirt. This can't fade. This is all I got, man. So I learned how to wash clothes early. I learned how to iron clothes early. And what I did, see, here's the trick, bro. You don't have a lot of shirts and pants. You just swap the combinations. You swap the combinations, and then you look like you got everything you need. You know, my mom splurged on a few things in terms of, making sure I had a haircut because that was important to me. But back then, haircuts was $7.
Yeah, it wasn't. It ain't.
You give $10, that's a tip. You know what I'm saying? You get that blue slip.
That's an outline. That's
$10 now, maybe an outline. In Houston, you're not getting an outline for $10. My son haircuts is more than $10. He only on his second haircut ever in his life. You know what I'm saying? But you get that blue slip and you go to Larry's, you know you're gonna be in there for about at least 3 hours off top. Don't go on a Saturday and don't go the day before school. That weekend before school, you might as well just pack a lunch, bro. You know how it went. And so that's what kind of kept me looking presentable, was that, some way, somehow, God always made a way to get me like a prom suit, or my mom will make a way to braid a couple extra hairs or whatever the case may be. But I just kept my stuff clean. Then I got a job going into my senior year. I did get a job that summer. And then we started stealing stuff, man. We used to steal from the malls, Mama don't really pay attention. She like, where you get that from? Like, I shot being that bitch, So, you get some Nautica, some School of Hard Knocks, you know what I mean? You leave the house. Back then, we was out the house. We wasn't really in the house, you know what I'm saying, like that. So you leave at 9 a.m, you come back 6 o'clock at night, and Mama don't know what you're doing. Yeah, you just got it.
Back then was a lot easier too, man. You know what I'm saying?
A lot easier.
You know what I'm saying? Because cash money was affordable wear. You know what I'm talking about? White tee, jeans, and you was straight, man.
And you already had the baggy clothes, so you could just put shirts and stuff underneath. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot easier. And like you said, stuff was way more, it was affordable. You get some Forces. Forces was $55.
Came back to work. Yeah.
$55 for Forces. Denelli comes out with that stupid song, bro, and it was just a whole
messed up the whole game.
Changed my whole life. Yeah. That's how it was growing up, man. Growing up was different. You know what I'm saying? It was. Then once my parents got divorced, I didn't really realize that most of my friends and people that I had been around, they had both their parents or some semblance of it. You know what I'm saying? And so I didn't realize that I was even living a completely different life until I got older. And then I didn't realize my life was so different until I really got married and started talking to my wife about some of the stuff we used to do. And she looking at me like, what? Yeah. Like, y'all did what? You would cut a washcloth out of a towel? That's crazy.
Man. I ain't gonna lie, man. It took me back, man. When I listened to that, I was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? I did not know. I had no freaking clue, man. And it was like, I understood. It was like, okay. We all got friends, man. I'm still, Book is crazy as hell. So I still try to figure out what Book got. I might have to interview his ass one day and find out why this nigga tick like he tick. But one day it's gonna click and I'll be like, aha. You know what I'm talking about? Where's the spoon? Aha. That's what's gonna happen. But that's what happened when I listened to your interview with Jay. And I was like, gotcha. I remember back in the day, one of the first times I remember with interacting with you, we was playing, I think it was at church gym or something. I don't know where we was playing. We was always hooping something.
Right.
I did something and you was like, man, pass the ball. Bet. When I played basketball, I always tried to be the whatever the team needed. That's what I just tried to be, like the Lamar Odom type. That's what that's what I was. I'm not no Michael Jordan. I'm not Kobe. I'm not all this shit. They got them niggas on the team. Okay, right. I'm not gonna be that. Let me just get whatever the piece need to be done. So he's like, pass the ball. So I'm like, okay. every time I played with you, I just start passing the ball. Then I remember like 2 weeks later, you was like, man, you need to shoot the ball. I was like, God damn, nigga, what you want? like, nigga, I'm doing what you said. Nigga. Like, God,
that's about right. That's about right.
But I knew you had a different intensity on the court. Like you didn't play. Like you wanted to win at any cost, and I could respect that. You know what I'm saying? So, it's listening to his interview made me. It clicked. Like I understand. You got to go through all that, and that's what you got. That's what you leaning on. And then plus, back in the day, you know what I'm saying? We all had hoop dreams, man. Everybody wanted to make it to the NBA and stuff like that.
Most definitely.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I wanted to bring you on here to give you much respect, much propers. Even before that, we had respect for you and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? Even though I'm not the nigga to reach out to people and be constantly talking to everybody, but once we get together, it's like, hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's love.
It's all love. So,
but really, Franz, man, not to cut you off, but that's what made me even like I didn't have a particularly great skill set. Like you couldn't name if they said, well, what made TJ good at basketball? You couldn't really think of one thing. Like I wasn't a great shooter. I wasn't a great ball handler. I just fucking played. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you just not gonna win. You know what I'm saying? Like I would do anything to win. If I gotta throw an elbow, so be it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like and I just thought I was the best. That's what really made me good. Because when I got on the court, I felt like I was the best person to play basketball. And I felt like I was offended that you're out here actually thinking that you can stop me from scoring. That's crazy, right? That's like a crazy way to think. But that's how I was, man. And what hurt me in college was that I stopped thinking like that. Like I started really worrying about how good I was or what was or wasn't. When I was growing up, I just thought I was that dude. Like, what I mean, I felt like if you out here, like I would look at something. I'll give you an example. Like when we went, we played against a team in Killeen and they put in a third string. Now, mind you, we down by like this the Killeen Classic book. We down by like 20. And so they put in this the first half. So if you get down by 20 the first half, you're getting spanked, right? So then they put in a third string and I'll just get pissed. Like, why would you put these dudes in? You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude, he knows he can't guard me. You know he can't guard me. The coach knows he can't guard me. Now I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? Granted, we down 20 in the first half, but that was just my mind. Or like Book could tell you if teammates were looking at other dudes dunking in warm-ups, I'm like, what y'all looking at them for? Like, what do we, if you know, CP, love him to death. But he wasn't like us. Like he was just kind of in high school, he was a timid guy. I used to be like, bro, you come on, man. Like, if you're not gonna shoot past me, I swear to God, I'll shoot. Yeah, listen. I make jokes about how I was a ball hog back then, and I swear if I could go back, I would shoot 10 more times a game. Knowing what I know now, hey, if I pass to you, when I was in 5th grade, Franz, when I first started playing with somebody outside of church league, if I pass them the ball and they open and they pass it back to me, you don't want to shoot. Cool. I'll shoot for you. I have no problem.
Trust me. I understood. Trust me. I know more than anybody. I was like, man, because I was like, yo, TJ, man, that dude, he balling out there, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all trying to work on our game. So I'm like, okay, if he sees something, he say something, I'm going to take that to heart. That's what I'm going to do. So I was like, I start passing the ball, no look passing, throwing oops to AO and all that shit, all that. You know what I'm talking about? I was like, okay, I got my vision down there. The boy told me 2 weeks later, man, if you don't shoot the ball, I'm like, nigga, I don't. That sounds right. Which one you want from me? But since you was talking about the church league, I got a question from AD. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna sprinkle these in every now and then. The boy said the Chop Basketball League. Yeah. He said admitted today the chosen ones cheated, and he said prove them wrong. That's what he said.
How did we cheat? We were the chosen ones.
He said, y'all stacked the team. Y'all got people that didn't even go to Chop. And he said, y'all ended up winning.
We had one dude that didn't go to Chop.
The rules was everybody supposed to be in Chop. That sounded like a cheat.
He went. Like, but he just wasn't a member. You know what I'm saying? It's Pookie. Come on, it's Pookie. How you gonna get mad at Pookie joining the squad, man? Yeah.
Oh man, get out of here, AJ.
That's what I'm saying. You can't be mad at Pookie joining the squad. It's Pookie.
Who all was on your team first off?
That's all that matters. I don't even know. It was me, Julius.
And then add Pookie on there?
Yeah.
Man, you know who I had on my team?
It doesn't. I mean, y'all, I don't even remember.
I had me, Stephen, Javon, and my brother. That's what I had. That's what I had. And
we definitely didn't lose a game, you know.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, we strategized. Nobody else strategized. So when we played against like Travis, we would just double team him the whole game. And who we gonna pass to? Some dude over there. I don't know that dude. No one knows that dude. Dad's a deacon. His dad's a deacon. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's starting. But with Travis ain't gonna. With Travis not going. If Travis is gonna score, it's gonna be hard. Same thing we did with JC. So he played with John Curry. If he felt like that, he should have scored some points. What you want me to say? What you want me to say?
More vocal on the court. Tell everybody else what they not doing as opposed to doing himself.
Adrian the Bruiser.
It ain't my fault. I ain't got strategy. They stopped my dad from coaching that league, by the way.
Yeah, because he was cheating. He was recruiting.
Oh man, because we were winning. We were the Phil Jackson dynasty. You know what I'm saying? We pulled DT back our first year. DT would never come to practice, nothing. We pulled him from the crib. We had to go get him one day. You know what I'm saying? He come off the bench, score like, we like 8. So he had 16. And we like, dang, this dude's kind of good. Then he shot the ball in the wrong goal one game. Like, but that's Devin, right? Devin don't pay attention. He just do whatever. But yeah, so tell AD. Matter of fact, I'm gonna call him when we get off here and tell him, dog, let it go, bro. We just, we thought that was 25 years ago.
He made a point to say they cheated. Make sure you ask TJ about that. I said, well, I'm pretty sure it come up. Let me ask dude.
They said the same thing about the Heat.
Yeah.
What you want me to say?
You're right.
People don't like the winners, man.
Yo, one thing you didn't talk about on the podcast with Jay, and Marcus is the one that actually asked me to ask you this because we had him on the last episode. He was talking about your sister, man, and about how much of a beast she was and balling too. And did that have effect on you playing basketball? Because he was like he remember her and Sharika Wright going work. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Back in the day. So
my sister. Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you good. You good.
No, my sister was really good at basketball. My sister really hated practicing basketball. You know what I'm saying? And that used to drive me insane because I'm outside just hoop dreaming it out. You know what I mean? Just shooting jumpers and she just at the crib. You know what I'm saying? Tuesday, Fridays. Come out, play on Tuesday, Fridays, average 25. You know, get a scholarship offer to the University of Hawaii while she playing JV though. You know what I'm saying? And she just the same thing in track. She skipped track practice. You know what I'm saying? Don't go, get to the track meet, get first place in 3 events. And I'm like, I didn't have that natural ability like that, bro. I just didn't. You know what I'm saying? Like I loved it. I'm out here she never played with me. Cause I'm like, I had to establish dominance. You know what I'm saying? They're on the girls team number 1 in the country. And then my dad coached them over the summer. So they going to nationals. You know what I mean? So they like rock stars. But at the crib, I'm like, you still can't beat me. So I don't really, what you talking about don't really have nothing to do with me. But it just showed me, like, all jokes aside, it's just some people just have it, bro. And she was just one of them people that it just came naturally to her. She was naturally competitive. She just didn't care about practice. Like in her mind, she's like, why am I doing all this? This is stupid. You know, I'm already good. Like, just bring me the games. Like most people are like that though. You know what I'm saying? Most people just want to play the games. That's how she was. She was good, man. But once she got to high school, the coach didn't really play her because the coach didn't mess with my dad. So that's when the politics came in. You know what I'm saying? So she was just like, by that, once she realized she wasn't going, this is how my sister is. Once she realized you ain't on her side, she's like, well, I ain't gonna do nothing then. So I'm not gonna go to practice. I'm not gonna practice when it's time to practice. because I'm not gonna play anyway. So put me on JV, and then she's on JV, averaging like 27. So I'm stupid.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, Ev could play, man. Ev could play. My niece played. She just graduated. Believe that? My niece is 19, bro. She about to be 19. My other niece plays, but she's more of a volleyball player. But now she's seeing like the importance of practice, right? So now she like, y'all need to get out there and work on your games. I'm like, nah. Don't do it now. It's too late now. They get that from you. They don't get it from me. That's for sure.
No.
No.
But I thought that was so, because Marcus was talking about, he was talking about how much he remember her going off and doing all that. I was like, man, I wonder if that did have an impact on your decision to pick up the ball and stuff. But when I heard you on Jay podcast, it seemed like you just was out there playing like most of us. We just out there playing and the ball's here, so there we go. That's what we playing.
Yeah. So the nuances of basketball came naturally to me, like understanding what to do, where to go. Mm-hmm. That's what helped me. You know what I'm saying? That's what helped me on defense, get like deflections and all of this kind of stuff. Because most dudes really suck at basketball. Let's just be honest about this. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody thinks they can play basketball. Most people can't though. And so when you get into a situation where dude can't play, and so he's like a robot. So he's looking at the coach like, all right, what do you want me to do? And then once I figure that out, it's over. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm gonna talk trash to you. Cause y'all know me, man. Like you know, that's just the way, that's how I kept myself balanced, because I, like y'all know how my competitive nature was just out of control. And so I had to let it out somehow. The only way to let it out was to tell the dude something like, dog, you have to get off. You have to tell your coach to switch. Because if not, I'm going to just keep scoring on you all night and it's going to be bad for you. Mm-hmm. And so in order to save yourself, just switch. Mm-hmm. People don't like that. They don't like when you talk to them like that. You know what I'm saying? Or I'll say something to Book, like, Book, just kill him. Like he can't, just rebound and score. He can't guard you. He's too small. He's not even supposed to be out here on varsity, period. Stuff like that. That's just the way I was. And having a sister that can play basketball that was naturally good kind of actually added fuel to that. Because I'm like, I got to try to keep up. You know what I'm saying? She getting scholarship offers, and I'm not.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Hold on. I ain't gonna lie to you. Even when T was like that, TJ was telling me this stuff, it's like, if I did do this, I promise Coach Ward or Coach Varnell would pull me to the side and make me feel like I was Carlton Banks. You know what I'm talking about? Like, what are you doing? I don't even care if you wide up. No, pass the ball to Will. Like, nigga, I'm wide open though. Like, yo, they didn't want I seen it was so demonstrative, man. They didn't want us to do shit.
That's
just
funny.
Set screens, roll, flash, run the base. Nigga, I hated that. Nigga, run the baseline all fucking game long. When we was in zone, man, I was like, yo, this shit.
That's crazy, because Coach Ward let me do whatever I wanted to do.
We know. We know. Bro.
Hey, man, but I was on this team for 3 years, bro. I feel like I earned that a little bit.
For me, I'm like, yo, I'm way better than what you are making me.
And you were.
You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? So I was like, yo, all right, fuck it. You know what? I'm going to use the skills that I know I have that he won't get mad at me for utilizing, which is, nigga, I'm going to jump high to you, grab the rebound, I'll throw it out. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
see, here's my mentality. My mentality is
strong enough to hold you back. Like, you're not about to, I've never met nobody that just big boyed me in the paint. I don't care how tall they was.
Right.
You can shoot over me, but you're not about to make me bounce back like, oh, God, yo, coach, this nigga's strong. I never had that type of situation in high school. You know what I'm saying? Right. Never. I never had it. Never had it.
Matt was close though.
I didn't really match up on him. I think that it was JY and
that was rough.
Somebody else. Yeah, they had a hell of a night. I tried to help him on the weak side, but by that time the nigga was already baby looking and fading back. Like there was no answer for him. But I literally never just got moved aside. Now in practice, when Carl like later on came to the squad, like that nigga was strong. You know,
he was
trying to take charges.
No, he was.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this offensive foul. But I, as an opponent, I never had somebody that just moved me to the side. You know what I mean? So,
our senior year, we played Ellison, and they had that big black dude that had the brand in his arm. They called him. We was calling him McGilla
Jared?
Gorilla, huh?
Talking about Jared.
I don't know what the dude's name is. I can't tell you, but
Jared.
dude was big than the motherfucker.
I know who you're talking about. It's something like that. That's his name. Because him and KP was there.
Yeah, he big boyed every single person on the team.
Let me give people some clarity and context. My week was already my knee was already tore up. Okay. So I have all my strength in one. I have to use all my power in my right knee and my right leg pretty much to try to combat what's going on with my left. So if anybody moved me my senior year, you probably did. Probably did, because in my mind, I was having two battles. I was like, okay, I got to defend this, but at the same time, I know what I can and can't do, because if my knee pop, nigga, that's it. I'm not. That's it for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But see, how I was
for ACL. Y'all,
that was tough.
I was out there, which is why my knee is as bad as it is. But you know, man, I put my body on the line for my niggas. You know what I'm saying? I did what I had to do. You know what I'm saying? I did what I had to do.
I just always thought I'm gonna do more good than bad. So some of these bad shots, and I never really took bad shots though. But I just felt like I'm gonna do more good than bad, dog. My plus minus is always in the plus, you know. So I'm gonna lead the team in rebounding in high school, you know. But so I'm gonna just shoot this ball, and if coach don't like it, it's okay. You can curse me out, but just don't take me out, because I'm gonna shoot again. So you might as well just get used to it.
Hey, yo, boy. I listened to that podcast, man, and I heard you played for like 6 different colleges, man.
I played for 3.
Yeah, damn.
3.
I was like, man,
so let me tell you about my
college.
Let me tell you about my college journey, right? So coming out of high school, I was very lightly recruited. Sophomore year, I was ranked in the country, all of this stuff. Didn't have a good junior year. Solid senior year, didn't go to the playoffs, right? That comes with its penalties. So I ended up, matter of fact, it was against Georgetown. The coach was coming to see their one black dude on their team that year, and I just tore them up, man. And so I ended up calling him, and he was like, yeah, I remember you were hard to guard, come. I just gave him my last scholarship. But so I went there the first year without a scholarship, actually. And I ended up earning a scholarship. I was redshirting my first year. Then I took my red shirt off to try to get to play. But I was warming the bench, cuz like I was a bench warmer. And I didn't handle that very well. I'm like, man, in my entire life, I'm 18 at the time. I started playing basketball at 7. So in my 11 years of playing basketball, I have never been a bench warmer, ever. You know, maybe a few games here and there my sophomore year on varsity, but I ain't never been no bench warmer. So I didn't handle it very well, man. So that's not got in my head, right? That's when I started telling y'all, instead of thinking like I'm that dude consistently, I started looking at, well, I can do this better than he can do that. And I never thought like that before. Like I just went and did what I did, you know? And so I ended up playing through JUCO. I got hurt my last year in JUCO, but the dude in front of me, who was actually better than me, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, he playing too well, so I got to come back, dog. I can't just let this dude, you know, sit up here and score 25, 3 games in a row. I got to get out here. So I played. I probably was about 70%, never really healed, but I played well enough to get all conference. I got some offers from Division IIs. But I'm like, I'm D1. What are we talking about? Like, what? I'm not finna go to no division. I'm not going to Division II. You know what I'm saying? This is stupid. Like, I'm not going to this, you know, St. Edward's University. What the hell is a St. Edward anyway? Which I should have gone there, though. In hindsight, I should have gone there, because I will tell every kid, every person, invited guests are treated best, bro. If they want you there, they'll treat you better. If you come as an afterthought, like if you want to go there and they're like, yeah, we'll take you, man, please. So I ended up going to A&M Corpus Christi, right? Go through the whole off season, we'll start the official practice. I play in the Midnight Madness. And then 2 weeks before the season, like my reps just started getting cut crazy. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm talking about wrestling practice, France. Like I'm going, they going through whole 5-on-5 series, and I'm sitting here watching. And again, I didn't handle it well. You know what I'm saying? By that time, I didn't equip myself to just say, all right, T, just get here. Your chance will come. Every time you've gotten a chance, you've been fine. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think like that. I'm thinking like, man, I need to play. So I went and talked to the assistant coach, man. And I talked to the assistant coach, and he was like, he shut the door. He like, I don't really know what's going on. To be honest with you, you playing well. You doing what we asked you to do. I don't know, And so the next day, the head coach calls me in. Now, again, at 37, I can look back and say, if a head coach takes time out of his day to speak to you specifically, you must be doing something right. But in my head, 2 weeks before, during the Midnight Madness, he's looking at the rosters and he's like, because again, they just called me Void at the time. They're like, Tyrone, who's that? Like, they don't even know my name. Like, all right. So again, y'all know me. So I said, when I get the ball, I'm gonna shoot every single time. You're gonna know my name. And that's exactly what I did. I shot that thing every time. Okay. Scored 8 quick points. Bang, bang, bang. And my dumb self, you know what I'm saying? Like, he my coach. I'm looking at him like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? During the Midnight Madness, though. Whatever. But so fast forward, man, he called me in and he starts talking to me like, yeah, we got a guy we had a wing from Tyler, man. That was like 6'9", and the boy could play. And if you got a 6'9" wing and a 6-foot wing, you play the 6'9" wing, right? I was already behind 2 guys. And then he had another recruit from Texas Tech that was redshirting. And I just didn't like him. Like, he just wasn't my kind of dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, he one of them dudes that if he said anything to me, granted, I actually got more ignorant between the ages of about 18 and probably about 23. So at this time, I was at like my peak ignorance. You know what I'm saying? So anything he said to me, I used to tell him, dog, you say 2 more words to me, I swear to God, I'm gonna slap you. I just didn't like him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't like how he came across. I didn't like how he was trying to sun me. Like, I didn't like how he was like, yeah, Texas Tech. Like, man, I don't want to hear that, bro. Like, I don't. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, he could play though. But the coach like, yeah, we got these guys, and it's just a numbers game. Then he told me, Franz and Brooke, what he told me would have made me say, man, he was like, maybe you'll play. Maybe you'll be the Team Rudy.
That nigga said that?
Verbatim. Imagine that, bro.
He could have said it better than that, man.
Nah. But see, that's how he spoke, though. Like, that's the same dude that'll call you P words and all kind of crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't never been spoke to like that, you know? But when he told me the Team Rudy, I said, I couldn't process it, bro. I couldn't process it. And so the next day, man, I said, you know what? I was in my feelings. I drank a fifth of him with my roommate. I said, man, I'm about to leave, bro. Like, I got 2 years of eligibility left. So I thought, but I didn't. Only had 1. So I left the team. And the second I left, I knew I made the wrong decision. We was going to Florida State to play in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And that's like my dream. Like, I'm playing in the ACC arena that I've always wanted to play in. You know what I'm saying? But I'm 20 and an idiot. So I make idiotic decisions. And then come to find out, man, I called the coach at St. Edwards, and he looking at me like, because again, it went from you wanting me to now I want you. Ain't no different than dating a girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you chasing her, she like, but then you get another girl, she like, oh my God, you're so nice, you're so cute. So same thing, right? So then I realized I only had 1 year left, so I had to go to Division III. And by that time, man, my mom was just out of it. You know what I'm saying? So I went to a school in McMurray, played a few games, played terrible a few games, played good a few games, and I developed rheumatoid arthritis. go backtrack. I actually got stabbed in Corpus.
Yeah, stabbed.
Yeah, the night of the Florida State game. So I'm supposed to be in Florida State. All right, so a couple things happened, right? So first of all, there's like a gang fight, you know what I mean, at the spot we was at. So I'm getting in there, you know, trying to, you know, make sure everything is straight. I get stabbed. I didn't know I got stabbed till I got, you know, once everything broke up, I'm like, dog, my back is really hurting. You know what I'm saying? So then I go home and take my hat off and there's blood in my hat. Next thing I got like meat hanging out my head, but nothing like I wasn't never on the ground. I didn't get kicked. I didn't get punched. Like I have no arm, nothing. So I take my shirt off. It's a hole in my shirt. I'm like, so then I have to go to the hospital, get staples. I got 5 staples in my back, 4 staples in my head. Right. So then I'm like, man, this dude tried to kill me, bro. Like this ain't even. But at the end of the day, I don't even know who he is. He can come sit beside me today and I don't know who he is. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, all right, that's enough of that. But then that same day, again, in a Tallahassee game, one of the dudes who was in front of me breaks his ankle. So those are my opportunities right there, right? Like I'm supposed to be here doing what I came here for, but instead I'm out doing stupid stuff. And it could have changed my whole life, man. So I went and played in Abilene for a couple. Then I got rheumatoid arthritis. I didn't know what was going on with my body, dog. I just went one day. I went from being able to windmill to the next day. I couldn't even put my own shirt on. You know what I'm saying? Like my joints had swollen so bad that I didn't know what was going on. I was so young. But then the coach there told me I was faking injuries. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only time in my life I ever wanted to fight a coach, man. For real. Like we was nose to nose. I'm like, dog, you tested my manhood at this point, and I don't like it. And to this day, I don't like that dude. I still know him. I know what he is. I know what he's doing. You know, I follow him in terms of because he's like a recruiting coordinator now, but I didn't know what was going on. You know what I'm saying? My whole life, I've been able to play this sport. And then all of a sudden, I just can't. Like, I physically cannot. And that's what happened, man. So I just graduated. Like, after JUCO, my college career was pretty much 7 games, bro. That was it.
TJ, stop following that nigga, man. Leave that dude alone, bro.
No way. He pops up on my news feed because, you know, he's a recruiting guy. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, there's guys that I coach or whatever, or guys that I know. Coaching world is super small that just go to his camps or whatever. But, you know, he does good for them. You know, he's not, I don't think he's a bad dude. I think he was young and trying to find his way too. But you just don't tell another man. At this point, I'm 22 years old. You know what I'm saying? You don't tell another man that he faking injuries, especially me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you know how much I love this game, I'm not finna fake injury. If anything, I'm act like I can play. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, man, that's what happened in college. That's why I went to 3 colleges. Long story, longer.
I heard that. I was like, God, dog, the man went over here. He went over there. I was like, dang.
Chasing them hoop dreams, dog. Yeah. Chasing them hoop dreams. If I can go back and do it again, I would just give up on basketball a long time ago and just go to a big college or a black college and just go to school and graduate. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Or just go to a school that wants me, and it's all the same, bro. That's what I try to tell these young boys, man. Unless you go into a top 15 Division I, if you go to a division, it's all the same. Mm-hmm. It's all the same. It's just basketball. If you want to play basketball, you go play basketball. And then you go overseas and make your money or whatever the case may be. But you just go hoop, man. Stop chasing that dream. And then you also got to be honest with yourself. If you ain't good enough, you ain't good enough. It is what it is. You know, my kids say, Coach, could you have gone to the NBA? No. I wasn't that good. You know.
Hey. I got something, man. Talk about stories that we didn't have, man. We had a lot of stories, man. Every time we do a podcast, man, I always want people to get gems, nuggets, you know what I'm talking about? As far as like something they could take with them. You know what I'm saying? Every one we did so far, I think it's been helpful knowledge, man. Your story is inspirational, period. And just to see where you at today is like even more. The man is a whole principle right now, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, Crazy Joe. You know what I'm talking about? They used to call me Crazy Joe. Now they call me Batman. You know what I'm talking about? Who would have ever thought? But you would have ever thought this nigga would be a principal right now? Like when we was growing up.
I wasn't emotionally stable enough to be no principal, man. That was a nutcase.
Not no principal.
Man, yeah, nah. But I bring this up, man, because
I know leader of the kids. No, that
one. I bring this up, man, because I know it got a lot of conflicts, man, in the school district and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Also, we've had conflict within the crew. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's important for us to talk about conflict resolution amongst friends, amongst people, especially Black people right now. A lot of us get into it and we go so hard with ourselves, man.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. Like I told them a couple podcasts ago, man, I ain't beefing with nobody Black, man. It's just I'm not doing it right now.
Yeah,
I'm cool on that. You know what I'm saying? If you want to beef with me, that's fine. You in a one-sided beef. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not doing that with nobody that look like me. But we've all had problems within the crew.
Yeah,
it was one time in particular. And TJ, I know you remember this.
Yeah,
we was at my house. I had a house in Harker Heights. I think we was watching a fight or something like that, man.
I don't even know, man. It was something small.
I don't know what it was. My wife, she had to go to work early and stuff. She had back in the room. So, you know what I'm talking about? It was like one of them nights I wanted to chill and had the music up, but I couldn't. I was like, man, well, we could watch it. You kind of got to be quiet because my wife in the back.
Right.
So I don't know what the fuck happened. All of a sudden, I see Book and my boy TJ, they going at each other. And then Book jump up and say, that's why don't nobody like you, TJ.
Yeah, he did tell me that.
And then, and I'm up here like, nigga, it's like, I'm looking like, oh, why did you say that? Because it's implied like I don't like the nigga and I got him in my house. Like, why would you say that? But I was like, that's neither here nor there. The funniest part to me was when Carrie said, I like you, TJ. And I couldn't stop. I started busting out laughing. I was like, we all like everybody, man. I don't understand the problem. And TJ was like, man, I ain't gonna disrespect Fran's house or whatever like that. Little did you know, if y'all started messing up shit at my house, I was gonna go to the room and I was gonna pop both of y'all. You know what I'm talking about? You gonna go mess up my shit. But nah, I just want to talk about conflict resolution, even though because the way y'all was that day, I didn't know we could eventually have this kind of moment where brothers just sitting here talking and having a good time and stuff like that, just reminiscing. So I think that's something that we need to talk about as Black men, how to get over the little small frivolous shit, man, and see past that. And you know what I'm talking about?
So I think it's a multitude of things. Number one, we were young. Mm-hmm. Number two, we probably had things bubbling over the years that were never addressed because nobody teaches Black dudes how to address issues, right? Mm-hmm. You know, we learn to fight. So you fight or you fuss about it or whatever the case may be. And so at that day particularly, that was just, we hadn't seen each other in some years now at that point, but it was something small. Like, I think it was over like a senior book or like video. It was game tape. That's exactly what it was about. And I'm like, and I'm like, man, I know you got my game tape, dog. I'm joking with it though, but at the time, you know what I'm saying? That's when I was experiencing a lot of pain with my wrists and stuff because I wanted to fight you. I'm like, man, I'm finna fight this boy, man. But I'm like, we're not gonna do this in Fran's house. But at the same time, I think it's just, in terms of resolution, I think it's just maturation, man. Honestly, it's just growing up, realizing that I probably made some mistakes, saying some cocky stuff, you know, at some point because I carry myself a certain way as a defense mechanism for what I was going through at the house. And so I'm like, I know I can do this. And so I'm gonna put all my energy into this. And I know I'm good at this. I've always been good at this. I'm always gonna be good at this. And if you think you're better than me at this, then I'm gonna have to show you otherwise. And that's not the way to be, right? But that's how that type of mentality, that ridiculous competitive nature is just how Black people learn to survive, you know? And as men, it's like, as a man now, man, I'm still like at 37. I got a 3-year-old son. The stuff that we're told that makes you a man, it's just such BS. Like, it's just, none of that stuff matters, bro. You know what I'm saying? Being the toughest, pissing the contest, hold your nuts, all of this dumb stuff, right? It's really just about, all right, I have an issue with something you did, but what we have to do in conflict resolution is figure out, why am I really mad? Like, we skipped that step as young kids, and I'm just pissed at you. But now when I'm talking to young men, they're like, "Oh man, we finna fight, man." I'm like, but why though? Like, I heard he wanted to fight me. Wait, okay. Do you know this dude? No. Do you know why he wants to fight you? No. Have y'all fought before? No. So what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we? If somebody say they want to fight, I gotta go fight. Okay, so let me get this straight. You heard this dude wanted to fight you. You've seen him 10 times today. He's not said a word to you. But you about to leave your class, go to his class, and ask him, is it true that you want to fight me? Like, that makes no sense. But these young men turn into grown men, right? And though it may not be as simple as a school fight, it becomes infighting in neighborhoods now. Now I got beef with this dude because he's from this side of town. You don't even know nothing about him. After you sit down and talk to him, you may like him. You know, that y'all probably the same kind of person. Y'all probably share struggles. Y'all probably share stories. But even beyond just like hood politics or anything like that, it's just some Black people feel like we need to fight the fight to advance. Some people feel like we got to fight the fight to survive. Like, I'm just trying to keep my job, man. I got a family to feed. And you can't really be mad at that. You know, man's got a family to feed. He got to do what he got to do. But I think we will be better off if we stop expecting, like, I can't expect me from you. This is how I handle things. I can't expect you to handle things like that. But what I can do is give you respect for to hear you out. Like, if we think differently, if I think you should do this way, you think I should go this way, let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that'll go further for any sort of resolution, because at least I hear your side, you hear my side, as opposed to me just calling you a dumb as you don't think how I think, you know, or I'm mad at you over some stuff that don't really matter, or I'm pissed at you for something that happened 10 years ago, when if we talk about it now, we'll realize that both of us are wrong. So that's what I think we can do as Black men, for sure, is protect each other, bro. Like, we don't have to be, like, at the end of the day, you know, Black women are obviously unprotected in this society. But where do we go? Like, when you're going through something, or you think about something, or like, being a man is pressure, bro. Like, if you want to be a good man, like, you could just be a sorry dude and it's fine. You play video games and scratch your nuts all day. You know what I'm saying? But if you want to be a man of value, a man that adds to your family tree, a man that has a sustainable legacy, that's pressure, bro. It's a lot of pressure, because you can mess up your kids' lives, and then they mess up their kids' lives. And then it's like, well, shoot, now you're responsible for a whole family tree just being garbage. You know what I'm saying? So, but who do we talk to about this stuff?
A lot of times you get older, and that's when you figure the shit out, man. Like this,
that's what I'm saying. We got to create community with each other. Like, bro, just like, you tell somebody you're going through something with your wife or your kids, you like, bro, I'm there with you, dog, for real. And just hearing that is enough for you not to lose your mind, because you can get isolated as a Black man, like, and just try to figure it out. Like you said, just figure it out. And then you 10 years later, and you done made 10 mistakes that you ain't even have to make. That's
yeah.
But back to the story. The real culprit is Travis Ethan Boyce, because that nigga had the tapes the entire time. So, I you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't forgot that. You know what I'm saying? It's you. The reason.
I'm still mad at Travis, because Travis ain't invited. I ain't get an invite to Travis' wedding. You know, and I'm gonna make that out in the public. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even know if I got an invite. I think I just came home around that time, because I was in Afghanistan when that kicked off. So I think
you left early.
I'll probably say, "Hey man, what y'all about to get into?" Oh, Travis getting married. I think that's how I found it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, for real? And I just showed up. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't get a formal invite either. I just, this way everybody was going. I was like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I got nothing else to do. I'll show up too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But to answer your question, Frank, ultimately, man, I just realized that I was an idiot. Like, I've done just idiotic things, and that's, but then again, I don't expect a lot from my friendships. Like, I think people expect too much from their friendships, and that's what make them beef with people. Like, dog, you got family, you got a job. I can't expect you to be there for me every single time I need you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you grown, bro. Like, at some point, there's a balance, right? Like, yeah, we need community. We need to be able to lean on each other for certain things. We all Black men that have had different lives and but we have similarities. But I can't expect you to be there for me every time I feel bad about something. Specifically, like if I'm going through something with, somebody, the opposite sex, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever the case may be, and you constantly telling me about it, but you ain't doing nothing about it, then what am I gonna keep wasting my energy for? I got my own family to deal with. You can't expect me to be there for that. You can't expect me to deal with the baggage of your emotion. Let's just talk about it and see if we can't come up with a resolution. But then you can't be mad at me if I'm like, bro, I'm busy. What you want me to do? What you want me to say? I'm here for you, but I have my own life to live. But it's just that kind of stuff happens, man. When I went to college, some of my friends, we didn't talk for a while, because I left. I don't think people realize I tried to leave when I was 13. Like, I tried to go to Mount Zion in North Carolina. I was ready to go, bro. Like, I never had any qualms of like, I want to stay close to home, be close to family. Nope. I will go to Southern Utah if I have to.
I ain't going to Utah, man. Hell no.
Now, no. Then I would go to the ends of the earth if it meant I could hoop. But now I'm like, I don't even live in the city of Houston. I live outside of Houston. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be around that, dog. I'm 37 years old, man. I am not trying to be in the middle of a party. I'm good. I go to HEB. That's about the extent of my excitement day to day. And me and my son play soccer in the backyard. There you go. The epitome of washed up. And I'm okay with it.
They say the same thing about me, man. You see toys and shit in the background, man. My house is my entertainment, man. That's why I chill here. Like, I got little toys, collectibles, all in the thing. If you see me pull out helmets and everything, hey, that's my joy right there. I stay at the house and I nerd out in the house. You know what I'm talking about? I don't want to be around a lot of people, man.
But in fairness, Book was a hothead though. Let's just throw that out there.
He still
you were. You were.
We haven't gotten to my list of shit. You know what I'm talking
about? Go ahead, my bad. Let me get back.
I've been going off of everything. And then, certain things are starting to make sense, which makes my point all the more better. And I said in the last episode, this is why I was a humble nigga before I came into contact with this man that's about to come up on the podcast. And you know who I was talking about? I was talking about you. I was talking about your ass. I met you and my life changed, nigga.
For the better. For the better.
Yes. But it brought something out of me that I was like, what the fuck is this? Oh, this nigga talking to me? Oh, that's where my competitive drive comes from. Like, listening to this nigga? Oh, fuck that.
Shark, dog. I was a shark. If I talk trash to you and you don't say anything, that was blood in the water for me back then, dog. I was an idiot, though. I think I said this before. It's like, yo, I'd be damned. I come anywhere and people is ranting and raving about an individual player. And I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna have to see each other. You know what I'm saying? So I think in 9th grade, obviously, high school, you guys played in the big gym. We was across in that little rubber floor ass place. So I already didn't like that. Like, why these niggas get the hardwood and we got this old whatever this is? Okay, fine. Fuck all y'all in that gym. Okay? So get in there. And everybody's like, I had never met you before, mind you. Like, I might have crossed if we went to Chop or something like that, but I didn't never met. So
I see you on the court. And they was like, oh yeah, TJ, you know, he's a sophomore on varsity. I'm like, and nigga, fuck what? Wait till I'm a sophomore, nigga. Like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my mentality. I was like, okay,
right.
Sophomore can be on varsity. That's my goal. That was my mindset. But y'all's team was so damn stacked. You know what I'm saying? Even going into my sophomore, y'all was like, boy, it's about to be tough as shit to get on varsity. Now, I know Jarrell did make it, but he just, you know what I'm saying, his journey was what it was. I think Corey made it later on as well. But I think a lot of the things, because I felt personally that I did well enough in my freshman year to garner consideration for a spot. But I always say that, you know what, I didn't make it that year because that's the year that that was my summer. I was in New York, and then when I got back a few days late. You know what I'm saying? We was already kicking off, and that nigga, Coach Wall pulled me to the side. He was like, hey, man, you can't be coming up in here a day. I missed 2 days of school, man. This man acted like I missed 2 weeks. But it was enough to him to make him think that I wasn't serious about playing ball. So, you know, I had a blast my sophomore year. You know what I'm saying? Like, varsity be damned. Like, it's cool. JV was phenomenal for me. I had a fucking awesome time. Right. Yeah, man, it was DJ, bro. Like, when we matched up and we finally played, because obviously we was on JV and then you on varsity, so that was how practice went. I'm like, oh, this, and Coach had me at my position then. You know what I'm saying? I played the wing. I didn't have to play with the big boys in the post. I didn't jump yet like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was able to go, you know, it was you, Travis, June, like y'all niggas, I was going against y'all. So I was like, okay, this lets me see where I'm at. But during practice, this nigga just talking cash shit. Like, nigga, the play is for you to score. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? And I'm gonna score though. I'm not gonna let you score. But
I'm gonna execute on that plan.
I was like, oh, this nigga think he nice. Okay. And then it just carried over into like regular pickup games. Yo, boy, we used to bark.
Book hated me, bro. Let's just be honest. Book hated my guts, and I knew it. And I'm like, okay, you know, we have a lot of mutual friends.
Nick can't go left. He would literally guard me and shut down my whole right. It was hard as fuck. I'm not gonna lie, but I do appreciate that.
He was right, then you couldn't go left.
In hindsight, no, I used to, boy, you let me get right on you. Oh, you're not catching me. You know what I'm saying? But I get TJ that, like, you know, like you said, man, as youths, you know what I'm saying? Like, we not understanding that. Now, even though his mindset at that time was, you know, oh, this nigga not better than me. You know what I'm talking about? I'm show me you good. You know what I'm saying? But even then, he was actually helping me, you know what I'm saying, develop something that I needed to work on. And honestly, had I never not played and matched up and had that type of dialogue with T, I never would have, you know what I'm saying, developed my left hand at all. You know what I'm saying? I literally just would have went one side. So I appreciate him for that. You know what I'm saying?
That's my love language though, bro. Like, anybody knows me knows that if I talk trash to you all day, that means I really like you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just my love language. But Travis was like that. Travis came from Fairway, and he was kind of quiet. I'm like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just talking stupid trash to Travis. Like, it's unreasonable.
If I had a pure hatred for TJ on the court, for this nigga to come and then ask me about some goddamn basketball tapes, we not talking about, like, I was like, yo, this nigga brought up basketball. Like, it felt like Clyde when he was talking about, nigga, you say watch like, I'm gonna whoop your head. Like, it felt like one of those off life. I'm like, yo, man, it's about basketball with me, man.
Yeah. I used to ask Jarrell, because, you know, that's when I was living with Jarrell. I'm like, man, this dude is tripping, man. Am I going to have to fight this boy? Man, I'm not in a good enough shape to be fighting right now.
I'm not a heavy drinker, but I drank a whole bottle. People was like, Book, you damn boy, you weak. I had a whole bottle of Arbor Mist back then.
Mist.
Yeah. Yo, I was sauced, bro, on front couch. I was like, yo.
I remember that.
Everybody came in. I was like, What's up? I was chilling. I had a foot up and everything. I was cool. And as soon as nigga said basketball tape, I think he was like, "Yo, Book, where my tapes at?" What?
Hey, that boy told me a week ago.
It was a crazy moment. And a lot of that, I can't blame that on alcohol or anything like that, man. It's just one of them things, man. I don't went at it with all my brothers, man. So that don't mean that's right. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, you weren't the first person. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, good. Yeah.
In like a whole audience, which is why I think it was like so damn crazy. So,
yeah. But I mean, you just grow out of it. You know what I'm saying? You look back and realize the value that everybody added to your life. There's people who, you know, in high school, you think everybody gonna be your friend forever. You realize it just don't work like that.
I know. Obviously, after that, we was at Papa Do's. I forget what. Was it somebody's birthday?
It may have been Jarrell's birthday.
Yeah, okay. So
yeah, it may have been Jarrell's birthday.
I know we had chopped it up before, and I believe I said, you know, my bad about that evening. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But even if I can't remember, you know what I'm saying? Them years back, man, I can't remember that. But if I didn't, you know, that's me that night for my parts in that crap. You know what I mean? But I was like
I said, I egged it on. You know,
it's funny as shit though, man. I can't. You know what I'm saying? It's a staple now, man.
Yeah, I egged it on. So it is what it is. But I don't fought Jarrell. Like, I don't fought Jarrell. I fought with Carrie. I was just an abrasive dude, dog. It was one of those things that, and I'm not too different now. I'm just more mature now. You know, like when I'm in these rooms with these folks, you know, with my school and education, and I'm trying to fight for equity, I say what I want to say. You know what I'm saying? Because the way I look at it is, if you hire me as a token Negro, you got the wrong nigga. So I'm gonna say this is what's right and this is what's wrong. If I'm wrong, I can apologize. But this ain't right, man. What y'all doing ain't right. This ain't right. And I'm not gonna sit up here and just nod my head and say yes, ma'am, no, sir, if it's wrong. So if I gotta find another job, God has always sustained me, bro. Like y'all heard the stories. Yeah, God has always found a way to catch me when I made the stupid mistake to fall on my face. He never allowed me to. So that gives me confidence now in a different way, like how I used to be with basketball. That gives me a confidence in a different way that I'm living out my purpose in life, and I'm gonna say what I want to say because this is wrong. And Black people need somebody to say something for them. You know, we got all these people making decisions for us, dog. Ain't nobody talking to us though. Like who asking us what works for our community? Nobody. They just telling, well, what Black people need is, you know, we need to hire a Black person for equity and okay. What else? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you doing in these communities? What are you doing for these families? What are you doing to make things right? If the answer is nothing, then everything else is just performance. And I'm not interested in that. And so I just take kind of like the tenacity I had towards basketball and all of this stuff, and I just try to help people, you know, and I try to use that to also gain wisdom so that I can know what I'm talking about when I'm just talking. I'm not just saying stuff. That's another thing we can do is conflict resolution. Just know what you're talking about. Like, take time to research before you hop out the window. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes Black folks be wrong. Like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes Black folks be wrong. So let's research and figure out what we fussing about before we just get the fussing, you know, and get the being marching and protesting and doing, you know, making long Facebook and Instagram posts when it comes out that it was, you know, once everything comes out, it's like, that didn't age well at all. So I think we got to hold each other to that standard. Like, if you know, like now, you know what I'm saying? If we get into something, then I'm gonna expect France to be like, man, y'all boys is tripping. Like, y'all need to cut that mess out. That's what we have to do as well. You know, hold your brother accountable. He'll be mad for a second, but it'll be all right. You know, I'm only doing this because I love you. If I didn't care about you, I'll let you act a fool. That's what I tell our Black kids, the kids running up and down our hallways, like pants falling down, not going to class. You know, I'm like, I want you to give me a good reason why you don't turn your work in. Man, that's what they said. Man. That's not a good reason, dog. Like, give me a reason. Then you come to find out, they don't understand it. You know what I'm saying? But instead of them just saying, hey, I need help, they'll rather just act a fool, because if you act like you don't care, then you can't be disappointed. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is we putting these people out into the world. Like these, you don't just be a 13, 14, 15, 17, 18-year-old and that's it. No, after this, you're expected to contribute to society. If not, they're going to lock you up.
Real.
Then I've already had students, bro. I got a dude who played on my team in the 10th grade. I coached him. He in jail for 40 years, man. Yeah. Just decision making. You know what I'm saying?
Are they gonna shoot you?
Are they gonna shoot you? I didn't have that happen. I had one of my ex-players get killed. Running with the wrong people, he grew up in a pretty good house, got tied up with some gangsters on a different side of town. You don't know how to navigate them waters, bro. You know what I'm saying? Shot that boy. Execution style. You know what I'm saying? Young kid. It's like what are we learning from this now? This happened. It's a tragedy. Okay. Are we just going to keep being mad about this, or are we going to try to learn from this? Because the only thing we can do, we can't rely on the justice system. You know, we can't rely on, so we need to take lessons and implement that into our families, bro. That's where it starts. Like, or implement it to a young man that you know that's like, look, dog, I see what you're doing. This ain't what you need to be doing, man. Here's why. A, B, C, D. I've seen it. You know, people like to talk about Cove and ain't no gangsters in Cove, whatever. Dog, we know enough people who've been through some stuff. We've seen enough. You know what I'm saying? We've been in contact with enough to say, dog, this ain't it, bro. This ain't gonna lead you nowhere. You go to jail at 19 and you go to jail for 15 years, you come out, that's a whole different world. You don't even know what to do. You know what I'm saying? And then they just drop you off in the clothes that you went to jail in. Say good luck.
I think this kind of tie into one of my other questions, man, about have you seen that movie American Skin?
I just saw it. Yeah.
It's triggering, man. That shit made me mad. So you got a son, man. And plus, I would say you a principal. All them other people, all them other men at your school is your kids. You know what I'm talking about? So how do you prepare them to, especially your son, to go outside and to know, hey, man, it's going to come a point where he's going to be out there by himself and you ain't going to be able to protect him if one of them cops just got it in their mind to harass your son.
Yeah.
How to deal with the police and stuff. So
it's a thin line, bro. Yeah, it's a thin line between teaching him to get home and teaching him to understand his value on this earth, right? Like, I don't ever want him to have an inferiority complex in thinking that some cop or anybody can just come to him and just make him feel less than human just because that's how they feeling that day. And it's sad, it's scary because I have to actually build up the capacity to have the conversations with him in this way. Like, I got to teach him that if he gets pulled over, to turn all the lights on in the car. You know what I'm saying? And to tell him to announce every single thing he's doing, but at the same time, it's like, if this dude is asking you 45,000 questions, there is a amicable way to say, sir, is there a reason why you're stopping me? And move on. You don't have to be combative. You don't got to be. And so I feel that it's sad that I have to teach my son how to navigate this world the way it currently and truthfully has always been. But it's a challenge that I think my approach is to empower him first. Like, the books that I write about him, he's the main character. You know what I'm saying? To where he has a legacy of his own. And if somebody don't like you because they Black, that's their problem, dog. Like, it's not for you. I don't want to teach him that he has to pine for the adoration of somebody who ain't gonna like it no way. So what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Just make yourself valuable on this earth. Make yourself valuable. Pray for protection. Understand your worth. Understand that you do have to make it home. So there's things that you're gonna have to do that may not seem fair, but it is what it is. you know, and then come on home and live to fight another day, and then fight that battle on a field that you can win. You're not gonna win on side of the road. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't the place that you fight this battle. You ain't gonna prove nothing right here. You know, they can pull up with 5, 6 cops for nothing. You know, they finna give the young boy Rittenhouse another bond. Like, but he already skipped town on bond. So y'all
I heard he running on the run right now.
Whatever. But you don't have that opportunity. And that's just the reality of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna hide that reality from you. You don't have that opportunity. That's not for you. But that you don't, again, you can't fight that battle on the side of the road. That's not where you do that. You know, you come home and then we'll understand how we're gonna approach this from a place of knowledge, understanding, level-headedness, with the understanding that you may not win. You may not win this battle, you personally. But if this can lead to something else or somebody else, then we've all won. So that's my approach to it.
And I was going to ask you, that was going to be one of my questions. I think the majority of us would have asked you, you know, because you kind of segued into it, you know, we're referring to, you know, your son as the main character of your, you know, your books, which for those of us in the world who have seen your son, we know that obviously the you know what I'm saying, the illustration on the covers resembles, you know, him.
For sure.
All right?
Yeah.
It was more so the way I could present this now, because I was going to ask you what drew your inspiration, but I would say, do you think that everything, or when did the inspiration, or you know what I'm saying, the inkling for you to put pen to pad come about? Was it because, or you know, was it influenced by your son, or was you feeling this way before, you know, just knowing that you had other things to give to the world?
That's a good question, man. So I've always been into writing. My whole life. I used to write poems when I was a kid. It went into writing. I'm sure y'all don't know this, but I have like books and books and books and books of rhymes. Like it got extensive. And then it just kind of went. Remember, I used to write for Nice Kicks for a living. Then I started my own blog. And so I've always enjoyed the written form of expression, or just expression in general. And I've always been told I should write books or whatever, but I didn't know what to write about, man. I'm not going to write a self-help book because I got more things to work on for myself. But then when I had my son, I started thinking like, okay, my wife kind of gave me the idea of writing a children's book. But I'm like, I don't, you know, but then I'm reading him all these Dr. Seuss books, and I'm like, Dr. Seuss has great books with great lessons, but you got to be an adult almost to understand the lesson of, you know, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish is about, you know, diversity. But I wanted a way to do a couple of things to honor him, to have something tangible that can never, ever, ever be taken away from him, right? But also give kids of color something that they can look at and see something that looks like them, see something that they can relate to, while still teaching these valuable lessons. And so all the books have, you know, they're fun, they rhyme, they're about things that kids do, but then there's also lessons in it. You know, the last book, The Bradley Visits the Zoo, is about embracing diversity. You go to the zoo and you see all these different things, all these different people, animals, and all these, they look different than whatever, but they all cohabitate and they're all able to still thrive. And so my author name is my full name, Tyrone Boyd Jr., because that's like a nod to my father as well. So within each book, there's 3 generations, you know, of honor. So it's me, obviously, with my name, but it's my father too, Tyrone Boyd, you know, senior, because there has to be a senior if there's a junior, and then my son, Bradley, who's named after my wife's father. So this is just kind of a tie-in of something that can never be taken away. That was kind of my inspiration. What can I do for him to let him know that he is an invaluable portion of our lives, but also a stamp in society, you know? So He don't care though. Like I read the books and he's like, oh, that's me. But he wants to read PJ Masks book. He don't care. You know what I'm saying? You know, he don't get it yet, but he will. He will.
Shout out. Make sure y'all go check out TJ book, especially if y'all got kids, man. Bradley knows everything. And Bradley goes to the zoo. I said Jew. Bradley goes to the zoo. So check him out
on Amazon.
There we go. You know what I'm talking about? The boy also got a podcast going on, man.
Yeah. We haven't recorded in a while. But 2%, talking about, education from the lens of two Black males. Black males make up 2% of the teaching field in the entire country. So, statistics show if you're a Black kid, you have a Black teacher, then your chances of graduating high school increase by 47%. So it's just, we talk about that. But I'm also working on some other things, man, that I'll share with y'all once I get closer to it. With my own blog. My blog was According to Void, where I took natural events, right? So let's say the death of, when you have a kid, specifically a son, when things happen, you start to think how does this going to affect the world? Which means how's it going to affect him? Because it's affected me. And nothing shows you your toxic behavior more than having a kid, right? Your kid is you. And so I'll give you a prime example. Probably when my son turned 2, when he really started becoming expressive. And so when he got upset, he would clap his hands real hard. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at him like, you need to stop doing that. Basketball game comes and I'm coaching. What do you think the first thing I do when I get pissed?
Clap them hands.
And it just right then and there in the middle of basketball, I'm like, oh shit, this is where he gets this from. So then you have to monitor everything you do, bro, because the kids are already fighting your DNA. So they're already like you anyway. You know what I'm saying? And so what I would do, man, I would take incidents that happened, like Kobe's death. How does this affect me as a man? And how can I pass this lesson down to him? And then I wrote about it. And so we're in the process of turning that into, some video stuff. And, we're going to have a show about fatherhood, just from different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? So we working, man. I'm going to interview him. You're going to see what life is like in the mind of a 3-year-old. And it's no place you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Man, look, it's one of those things that it really teaches you a lot, as you know, Franz. It teaches you a lot about yourself because you actually have no control over what they do. You can try. Think about you. Your parents, you get in trouble for stuff, you do it anyway. And then you look back as a kid, as an adult, and you say, okay, now I can see what my parents was talking about. I can see why they wanted me to make my bed all the time. When I'm like, I'm just gonna come home and get right back in it. Why am I, this is stupid. You know what I'm saying? But it just makes the room look better. And that was their whole point. But that kind of stuff, man, once I became a father, it just kind of consumed my life. Right? Every decision you make affects your family. So you can't just be out here doing any old thing. He's gonna see it at some point, or he's gonna hear it, or he's gonna be it, and then you gotta try to explain it. You gotta try to fix it. So that was a kind of long-winded way of saying that was my inspiration behind writing. That's my inspiration behind writing now, and that's my inspiration behind the podcast, the 2%, which hopefully we'll start back recording soon. My co-host is still a basketball coach, so. With COVID, man, basketball season has been nuts. Cancellations and rescheduling and quarantining and all kinds of crazy stuff. So our schedule has been off, but hopefully we'll get back to it soon. But in the meantime, this month we should be dropping some more content pretty soon.
Gotcha, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, TJ, I want to thank you, man, for taking this time out.
Absolutely,
man. Come holler at your boys, man. We definitely appreciate you. The boy busy. Definitely. I read your vlogs, man. I was reading your stuff when you was with Nice Kicks.
Yeah.
The Kobe one, man, they hit me hard. The one you wrote by Kobe and his
I know that was your boy.
Yeah, man. That's he on this wall right here.
Yeah.
I turn my stuff around so I look at him. You know what I'm talking about all the time. So but yeah, that it was good, man. So I keep on doing your thing, man. You
appreciate it, man.
Your podcast. I listen to the 2%. Definitely whatever you come out with, I'm gonna be supporting it, whether you hear it from me or not. I'm watching, man.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It's always
before I leave, man, I wanted to tell y'all boys how proud I am of y'all, man. Like, I listen, I watch, I laugh. Sometimes I have my headphones in when I'm doing something. Like, man, these boys are crazy. But just like coming up, man, like I said, prime time. I knew you earlier than I knew Book. I knew Alan before I knew you, Dwayne, your brother. But you boys, like, y'all make me proud, man. Not to be on some big brother OG stuff, but just seeing you guys grow, man. Seeing the consistency, man. Like it's hard. It's hard to produce something every single week. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But you guys are there every week. You got your stuff. You promoting. So anything I can do to help push that, you got my full support. I'm proud of you, man. I love you. Like family, like brothers for real. So whatever you need from me anytime, man, you got it.
Man, likewise, man. That's the truth.
That made me not want to ask these couple questions before.
No, go ahead and ask.
It's like it's real. It's either yes or no.
Okay, go ahead.
And I wrote them in here, and I call them the game of truth. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay. We'll see where we go with it.
You know what I'm saying? It's just yes or no. No, you don't have to elaborate. And then there we go. All right.
I never been no more nervous on a podcast than right now. I don't know what okay, come on.
We're gonna get this is all laying the foundation. Okay.
Okay.
It's the game of truth. All right. 1. We're not talking about now, because obviously, okay. Were your waves better than mine? Yes or no? Game of truth now.
Probably not.
You said no?
Probably not.
Oh,
wait, hold up. TJ already started offline. Let's be.
Yeah, only because see. All right, so Dwayne, he's bald now, which means typically guys with the good, super good hair when they were younger. This is guys repaving. I'm still Jalen Rose with it. I ain't gonna hold you. You know what I'm saying? But back in the day, you probably had me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. You probably had me a little bit.
Okay.
TJ, I ain't gonna lie, man. I purposely don't get haircuts sometimes just because I know these niggas bald out here. And I'm growing a little bit extra hair for these niggas. You know what I'm talking about? Next question.
That's funny. It's okay. Y'all had a good run, Y'all had a good run.
2, because we was talking about a lot of basketball, but I never got to, I didn't want to cut nothing off. Was you better than me on the court?
Yes.
There we go. All right. People. Okay.
What you want me to say?
Now let me lay the foundation for this one, right?
Go ahead.
Did you jump higher than me is the question. Now, I remember we was doing measurements, okay? We was doing shuttle drills, and then they had us jump, slap the wall. And Coach Varnell measured our vertical. Now, you did beat me by like an inch or 2, okay? Actually, you recorded the highest out of all of us, all right? On the vertical jump. But did you really jump higher than me? Did you have more hops than me?
So, all right. So this is a 2-part answer. You could touch higher than me because your arms are longer and you're a bit taller. But who got higher off the ground? Me. Come on, Book.
No, this nigga took a shot at me both ways. If y'all didn't catch it.
No, you could jump high. Book.
Because of my reach.
No. You could jump high.
So in virtuosity, you're like, oh my God.
You could jump high. I just could jump higher. It's okay. At the time, Book, I used to dunk vertical.
I used to get off drop step.
That's what I'm telling you. So
all right, check this. But my dunk off drop step was so you know what I'm saying? You
probably had a higher max vert in terms of if we took 1 step, you probably got higher. I'm gonna give you that.
All right, people. At the end of this, the conclusion is ego. Is leaving God out. Okay? And I still can't get my fly.
I knew you was setting me up.
I got one answer
man.
that was truthful, and then the other ones was the same face. But I love him.
No,
you
that's
know
not
my
true.
brother. We never actually played one-on-one. That's one thing.
But you thought you was better than me. Book.
I've always wanted to play one-on-one. I don't know if we've ever played.
You thought you were a better basketball player than me?
Yes.
Why?
You ain't listening. You ain't listening.
Explain why.
I'm the best nigga to come up out of this.
But okay, fair.
You know what
But
I'm saying?
explain why. Explain what made you better than me.
You know what I'm saying? My grit and my determination, bro. I was everything, bro. I was everything that a teammate was supposed to be. You want a bucket, I go get
Great
it.
teammate. You were a great teammate.
I put it like this. A lot of I don't think I was able to reach my full potential only because of the injury. Now I remember when we went to UT after we didn't make it for whatever reason to the playoffs, you know what I mean? We just about one game or two games, I think. But we went and we was watching Willow Ridge go against somebody.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting there and soaking it in. And I said, yo, this will not be us next year up in the Raptors watching other niggas on the court. Like I literally had that sense of determination. That year, that summer, me and Jarrell, we went to the UT camp. You know what I mean? There, I felt I was leagues better than everybody on the floor. And that's not like a Texas thing. Like these people was from everywhere. I felt as though I was the best nigga out there. And obviously, you know, later on that summer, I ended up hurting my knee. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that a lot of what I knew I could do, I didn't get to literally showcase. You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
fair.
Thanks to my injuries, you niggas will technically be better than me. But had I always, you know what I'm saying, it might have been a different conversation. That book not got hurt. So
I'm gonna say this. Here's what I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna let y'all feel as though y'all was better. But yeah, I was coming for everybody, man.
You were coming. You were coming.
I had a list of names like, oh, this nigga was. Oh yeah, I remember you. Okay, yeah, I remember you too. Yeah, I got you.
But there was just not a whole lot.
I was
like, you gotta understand, in high school, there were halves that I had 25 points. Like in halves. You know what I'm saying? Like there were games that I almost had a quadruple double in the Central Texas All-Star game.
I'll tell y'all now, man. If I got to shoot the way that TJ and Travis got to shoot,
I shot over 50% though.
But okay, my 50% was 2 for 4.
You shoot if you get to make shots. Listen, you gotta earn it though. Hey,
different.
If I wasn't producing, I wouldn't get that green light, Franz. Right? If you're not producing, you don't get a green light.
Different. It's different, man.
You produce.
So,
you did just listen. You were an up and comer.
I was a formidable foe. That's what I'll say.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? But nah, TJ was nice. I said that before, you know what I'm saying? I was just like, he's one better than me. I said that way back in one of them episodes. But nah, man, it's not.
I don't expect nothing less.
I'll tell you, man, like I tell everybody all the time, man, like my competitive nature really, I was always competitive, but you took it to a whole nother level. So, you know, whether niggas appreciate that or like it now, I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. This is how I've been molded. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it. I like it.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Hey, man, I go to battle with T any day, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, shit, with all of y'all, man. But yeah, man, I appreciate you, bro. I just wanted to get them answers. That's all. You know what I'm saying? See how far we came. That's it. I'm good now. I'm good.
We the same. It ain't going. It's the same.
This nigga spent the whole 10 minutes just to get, because he wanted somebody to say he was better than somebody. Man, get out of here, man.
Hey, mind your business, nigga.
Man, man. I did. I sat back. I watched. I'm like, oh Lord, okay.
I wanted to get it in while he was talking, but we was like, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I'll wait. I'm patient. You know,
That's cool. I'm glad you got your answers you've been looking for and searching for so long. I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
Anything you want to tell the people, Book, before we get up out of here, man? Besides,
nah,
man. Did all that and you still not better than?
My schedule will be changing for maybe the next 2 weeks. So if y'all don't see me, you know what I'm saying? Just, I'll be making a return. You know what I'm saying? I know Franz and whomever else will appear on the podcast, so hold it down in the meantime. But we know why you all tune in. So other than that, that's it, man. You know what I'm saying? Love all y'all.
You know what I'm saying? Thank you. Nothing other than that though, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'll see you guys when I see you. And I had to make sure that I was here for this one for sure to chop it up with my brother T. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely,
big time.
TJ, anything you want to lead the people with and tell them where they can find you and all your numerous stuff?
Again, Amazon, just Tyrone Boyd Jr. I'm there. Instagram at TJ Void. It's Twitter at TJ Void. That's who I am. You know what I'm saying? So, follow or not, whatever. Check me out. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. You having me on. Always make sure you subscribe and all that to the Man's View podcast. You can keep up with what these dudes have going on. All right, and as you follow the journey of myself, and we'll kind of see what we rolling out as time goes on.
Appreciate that, man. You heard it, man. I ain't got to say the subscribe thing. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. It's been the MVP. We'll holler at you next time.
Pray for me. Pray for